Good day, everyone. We are Masters of Business Administration students, Class 30 from Uganda Management Institute, and we are here to present on public-private partnerships. Our choice of project is the Kampala Jinja Expressway. The content for today, we shall have a brief understanding of what PPPs are. In our simulation, we shall have a deep dive into the Kampala Jinja Expressway. In our PPP details, we shall have a strategic suitability summary, a preliminary feasibility summary, a PPP suitability summary, and a fiscal affordability summary. We shall summarize all this by having a recommended PPP structure for this project. So the Kampala Jinja Expressway is one of Uganda's flagship infrastructure projects being implemented under a public-private partnership arrangement, a PPP. A PPP is a long-term contract between the government and a private entity in which the private partner designs, finances, builds, operates, and maintains public infrastructure while the government retains ownership and oversight. In this project, the government of Uganda is partnering with a variety of private contractors under a PPP framework supported by development partners such as World Bank and African Development Bank. So the expressway is estimated to stretch about 77 kilometers, starting from Nakawa in Kampala, passing through Namamve, Mukono, and Lugazi, all the way up to Njeru near the Jinja Bridge. So the KJE, Kampala Jinja Expressway, will also include a southern bypass to help decongest the city and improve traffic flow. Government opted for a PPP approach because it allows mobilization of private resources, transfer of technical and operational expertise, and risk sharing. This Kampala Jinja Expressway is expected to bring a variety of benefits, ranging from decongesting the existing Kampala Jinja Highway, reducing travel time and transport costs for commuters and traders. Currently, it takes about 1.5 to 2 hours from Jinja to Kampala. However, with the new expressway, it's estimated that this time will be cut by over an hour and you travel in less than an hour from Jinja to Kampala. So this reduction in travel time will enhance regional trade along the Northern Corridor as Jinja Highway connects Uganda to Kenya and to the port of Mombasa. So it will also boost economic growth by improving access to the industrial zones in Namave and Mukono. This project will also create jobs for example, in construction during the construction period, and it will improve overall road safety and the quality of life for communities. We shall have faster goods arriving faster from the borders instead of taking so long. So it will boost our economy and improve our livelihoods. I'd like to call upon my colleague to take us onto the feasibility summaries.
Uh, Moving on with the strategic suitability summary. This strategic suitability assessment examines whether the Kampala Jinja Express Highway aligns with Uganda's development vision, sector priorities, and service delivery needs. The express fits squarely within the vision of 2040. And when we look at the national NDP plan, both of which prioritize improved transport infrastructure and regional integration, the expressway directly addresses the chronic congestion of the existing Kampala Jinja Road, which has become the biggest challenge on transport delays and service delivery of goods to their destinations. And it affects the trade, tourism, the industrial development. By connecting Kampala to the Eastern Corridor, the project will promote export growth. It will also reduce travel time and logistics costs. It also aligns with the National Roads Authority strategic objective to deliver major infrastructure using a suitable PPP financing model. In summary, the project demonstrates a clear national relevancy, high developmental impact, and policy alignment, making it strongly suitable for strategic standpoint. Um, as a team, we noted that the Kampala Jinja Express is strategically aligned with the Vision 2040 and the NDP3, addressing national congestion challenges and stimulating trade and regional integration. From our graphical representation, we rated this a 5. It is very strong, where we noted that it fits within the strategic suitability due to clear alignment with government's priorities. In the service delivery option assessment, the project was scoped out based on clear service needs, because this has been a high cry for the people in the eastern region and the traders in Uganda. Moving on to the preliminary feasibility summary. Um, the study established that the project is technically, economically, and financially viable. It showed strong traffic volumes, positive cost benefit ratios, and a viable toll revenue model. The PPP assessment confirmed that the private sector participation would deliver value for money through innovation and operational efficiency. Um, the feasibility analysis also confirmed that the project's design, construction, and maintenance risk can be effectively managed under the PPP structure. These results strongly support the recommendations to implement the expressways as a design build finance operational model PPP. Uh, the feasibility analysis confirmed that the express highway is both technically and economically viable, making it a strong candidate for private investment through the PPP model. Um, we rated it a 5. After looking at the technical pre-feasibilities, the environmental sustainability, social sustainability, the economic pre-feasibility, the financial pre-feasibility, and the legal pre-feasibility. The strong preliminary feasibility analysis, which indicates that the project is most likely to be feasible at all levels, and therefore it is strongly suitable to be carried out and implemented and developed. Um, Moving on to the risk assessment. Our risk assessment looked at the major risks that may be incurred, looking at the risk of delay in land acquisition. This could be when government considers the routes where this the Kampala Jinja Express is going to be uh, developed. We note that there are residents there that may require compensations and are not willing to hand over their plots of land to government. This might cause a bit of delay, uh, and also in case the government doesn't have a budget to compensate them, and also the private entities may not also have a budget to compensate them, there will be a resistance from the existing residents in those areas, hence a delay on land acquisition. We looked at the financial risks, the financing risk, which looked at the cost overturns due to inflation or the road design. Um, the prices of in raw materials or construction materials that keep changing may also affect the budget overheads. We look at the high cost of implementing the design, which may not be favored depending on a low budget. We looked at the delays in financing closure or payment disputes is also another financial risk, whereby there could be a delay on procuring funds from government or from the private individuals or partner entities that are partnering with the government to ensure implementation of this express highway. In most cases, funds could be delayed to be disbursed to the implementers or the project leaders, which will also be an issue when it comes to putting this express highway into place. We looked at the design construction costs, the risks also. The design may not be favored by the locations. Some of the lands may be steepy, whereby the design will be affected, and there will be a need to change some of the architectural parts on that design. So that will also be a higher risk, hence increasing the cost. Um, the operation and maintenance risk, this we looked at the delays in construction due to the poor condition, weather changes, the material shortage. We note that the east is usually most times affected by heavy rains that cause floods, and this may cause delays in the implementation or the kickstart of the project. Material shortages, we look at the suppliers whose prices may also be higher or may not have enough material to supply such a huge project. Taken to clear and lay clear ground for the implementation of this road, the expressway. We looked at the market risk, demand risk, depending on how many users are willing to use this express Jinja Kampala road. Most cases, of course, the road might be limited to only the traders who are transporting their goods from Kampala to the border or from the border incoming to the country. Most it might be limited, hence it will either increase the demand or reduce the utilization of that express highway. And also, how many traders are willing to incur cost on using the expressway. We looked at the off-taker risk, the foreign exchange risk, and environmental and social risks. Of course, with the environmental social risk, these are the residents who are maybe affected, and socially, they may not be favored on handing over their plots to government or the private entities to have the route for the express highway cleared. Um, Moving on to the PPP sustainability assessment. The implementation of this project. So we had to rate it highly, and some of these factors have to be put into consideration before kickstarting the development of the express highway. Moving on to the PPP suitability assessment summary. Um, we note the value for money assessment and the market appetite were rated very highly as a 5. This project is ideally suitable for a PPP offering exceptional value for money and strong potential for attracting significant revenue and interest making it a highly attractive investment opportunity. Um, Here we are looking at how the government is going to benefit, and also the private entities that have partnered to ensure that this development is a success. We note there might be a cost that will be introduced on using this expressway. We give an example of the Entebbe Express Highway, where there is a charge of 5,000 shillings upon entry or of the express. We may project maybe if a charge of 10,000 will be implemented, which is going to generate a higher revenue for both parties. So we rated this as 4.2. It's strong, but not as strong as the other risks if they are well mitigated, in as much as we look at high revenue that is going to be coming in from there, and also considering that there is ease on transport and movement. Of course, there will be timely deliveries of goods to their destinations, and also improve the economic uh, and also improve economic growth. Um, Moving on to the government's the government as a stakeholder. We know the framework shows various stakeholders in the project. The government of Uganda, this may specifically look into the UNRA, the special purpose vehicles representing the private entities, the lenders, affected communities. Each stakeholder has a defined role and accountability mechanism to ensure transparency, environmental compliance, um, and long-term success of the express, because this is not if it is a vision 2040, it's not something that may be delayed, and the faster it is implemented, both stakeholders are supposed to earn from it and benefit. So, with this governmental institutional capability assessment, we looked at the institutional capacity, the preparedness of the contracting agency, the execution capability of the contracting parties. Uh, of course, the contracting agency is the government, which has a robust implementation plan in place, coupled with a strong team of seasonal professionals, ensuring effective management and delivering the PPP project. We rated this as a 5 because it is very strong. Because without the expertise and having a good private partner on board, then that means the work that will be done will be substandard. However, the government has done due diligence to ensure that the partner who is going to work on developing this expressway is highly skilled and very viable. Uh, Overall, on the graphical presentation and all the assessments that we have done, we understanding the PPP, of course, we rated it a 4 out of 5 because there are shared roles between the public and private. The project overview, we rated it 5 out of 5, which explains the scale and relevance of the express. We've seen the benefits and how it's going to be of importance to the entire country. The physical assessment affordability, we rated it 4 out of 5 because this PPP is going to reduce a burden on government. We looked at the strategic suitability, which we rated 4 out of 5 because it aligns with our Vision 2040, and NDP3. We looked at the feasibility, which we rated 5 out of 5 because of the strong economic and technical viability. Of course, the BDFO model, which is going to be highlighted on, was rated a 5 out of 5 because of the full life cycle efficiency and accountability. The risk assessment was rated 4 out of 5, identifying and mitigating the risk related to the project and what and how we are going to and how they are going to be mitigated. The implementation capacity was rated 4 out of 5 because of the government's readiness to deliver and ensure service. We looked at the risk transfer 4 out of 5, ensuring there is value for money and efficiency, looking at the revenues and interest that will be incurred after the implementation of the express highway, and also the stakeholder framework, which promotes the transparency and collaboration between the private and the government uh, partnership. I'll call in my colleague to move on with understanding the
Mhm.
design of finance operational model.
Thank you so much, my colleague, for that good explanation. Um, According to this big project, we discovered that using the DBFO model could be the best suitor for this project, whereby the design of this project includes maintenance of the pavements, drainage systems, then building of the project will require a special purpose vehicle, considering the traffic volumes, considering the environment, and then we look at the finance. The finance side, we discovered that the private sector is in the position to finance this project due to its operate site technology. So they will be in good position to maintain the project, to make sure that there is smooth traffic flow, because it's one of the main reasons that as to why this project was being decided by the government. So we also have justifications for the DBFO. One, the design build expertise. We believe that the private sector is best suited with good technology, with good machines, unlike our local investors here. We also looked at the private finance, whereby we discovered that financing this project will require a lot of money. It will require a lot of money, that is approximately 1.5 billion. And the private sector is more suited to finance this project, unlike the the public sector or the government. Then we also looked at the risk factor, risk transfer. Under the operate component, the KGE is associated with a lot of risks. So these risks are shifted from the government to the private sector. So the government can concentrate to be shifted to the KGE under the private sector. So we also discovered that the DBFO is associated with good innovation and efficiency. The private sector, we believe they produce the best results in all the projects so far done. The constructions are always in. And we also look at the lifestyle perspective. Under the perspective, we look at the project sustainability. The private sectors they always produce work that is not shabby. They always make sure that their projects stay for long, unlike the public sector, which is associated with many, many risks and other factors that may hinder the sustainability of these projects. Then we also look at the result-based performance. This is also a recommendation for this model, because for the government to pay or to take on a private partner, they will look at payment will be based on performance and customer satisfaction. They will make sure that, so the private sector will make sure that they do their best in order to be paid and in order to achieve their goal. Of course, the private sector's goal is to get money. So if they are not performing well, they will not be paid by the government. So we also look at government control. Most of the private companies are monitored by the government. So the government will be able to regulate and oversee the work that is being done by the private sector. They'll look at factors like environment. They'll look at factors like inclusion. Are they including the local natives in their projects? Then the SPOs, are they being followed up as recommended by the government? So we looked at all these factors and recommended the DBFO model as the best suitor for this KGAE project. We also use the references. So, yes,
And
thank you.
thank you very much, members, for participation and the input. It's been an amazing presentation. Thank you so much.